that I enjoyed every season, and this season was definitely the most lit. In the previous interview, you guys saw me sit down with Dennis, and we got in depth in a little bit of who he is and what he's got going outside the show. And we touched on a few things that weren't just show related. So expect the same thing this time. Okay. Now I am here with the illustrious Ashley, or as I call her, Muffin. Okay, we was able to, by the graces of both God and A&E, we were able to secure an interview with her as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring her on right quick, y'all. I just want to welcome Muffin. Say hello to everybody.
Hello, I'm.
So, for those who have not seen the show, tell us a little bit about you, about the show, and what led you to decide to want to do it.
So I've been a big fan of 60 Days In since it first aired. I love A&E. It's like always on my TV. I like Live PD, First 48. I love a good murder mystery, like a good. They had one. They do like those documentaries where it's like they'll target like a serial killer and how they found him and stuff. Love it.
Yeah.
So found 60 Days In, and I am like a professional Googler. I could find out just about anything. So I figured out who the casting agency was, and I emailed them, and I was like, "Hi, I like your show, and I want to do it."
Nice.
I never thought they would email me back. So I was really surprised. They actually emailed me back, and I just didn't think it was real. Probably up until right before, like 2 weeks before I went into the jail, actually.
Oh.
Because it was a lot. Like I talked on the phone with them a whole lot, and then when it finally came down to it, I was like, "Oh, oops! I accidentally got too deeply involved, and now I can't back out."
So you had like little second thoughts at the end there, right?
Well, it was a whole lot going on at one time because it was. Right. I started talking to them before me and my husband started talking about divorce. So by the time I was like really in deep with the casting, he and I started to get to a better place, and we started hanging out again and dating again, and then we're like, we're going to talk about divorce. It's not going to be something that's on the table. We'll go do this because I know you. He's like, I know you want to do it. You love the show. I know you want to. And then you guys saw what happened.
It was shown that your marriage ended. How are things now? Not necessarily between you and him, but just for you. First of all, I'm sorry that happened. If it wasn't the best thing for you, then I'm certainly sorry that happened to you. But life happens, right? So how are we now?
I'm good. It's been, for you guys, it was like it just happened, but for me, it's been a year.
Okay.
So,
okay.
And then, because we were filed before I went in.
Okay.
In Texas, you can it's like a deferred divorce. Like you can put it on hold for 18 months.
Oh, okay.
Counseling, and it's the South, so we're all about keeping, doing everything that the court do to control your marriage and your body. I mean, I'm just saying, but I'm just gonna drop that right there.
Is what it is. Is what it is. Has this experience affected how you do your job?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
110%.
Yeah. So tell us the biggest differences now, versus before.
Some of it's kind of funny. I think 2 or 3 weeks after I got out, we got into a foot chase with somebody who had warrant. He didn't want to go back to jail. So I was like, oh, I get it. Like, it's fine. I mean, you're going, but I feel you. I would run.
Right. I'm running.
I get it. And that's what I'm not mad at people for doing these things anymore because I get it now.
Because you've been in there.
Yes, you're going to run from the police. I get it. I don't encourage it because that's an additional. If you run in a vehicle in Texas, that's a felony charge. If you run on foot, that's like the last misdemeanor charge before it becomes a felony. In Texas, it's a Class A. So if you got like little bitty warrants, please don't turn a misdemeanor into a felony.
Right.
But I empathize. I get it. I don't want to go back to jail. If they try to take me back to Etowah County, I'm going to run.
Would you do it again?
That's a trick question because I would only do it again if I could go in knowing what I know now. If
Right.
I knew how to carry myself better, if I knew what type of facility I was going into, and if I knew, like, I watch myself and I see, like, okay, here I am, I'm naked, she's left me alone in the cell. I should have said, you know what, I'm gonna walk back out into that day room butt ass naked. If she wants to leave me naked, then everybody can see me naked.
Girl, in my mind, I'm like, they gonna take this as a sign of weakness, how she crying, because it's just vagina. Not like that, but
you never saw me cry in front of the inmates ever.
No, you did. But I'm saying, like, on TV, it makes it look like, okay, if they see you cry, that's going to be a sign of weakness. Or, like you said, if you'd have just, that would have been some boss shit. Had you just walked out in there butt naked, like, I really just need some clothes, y'all. Like, you know.
I think I was shocked because I go in, I'm holding the corrections officers to a high standard. I'm thinking, these are my peers. This is part of my law enforcement family. And I was caught off guard because all the previous seasons, it had been like, with females, inmate drama. Like, I figured I would have to fight an inmate instead of going toe to toe with guards. Like,
are you telling me
yeah,
that you really did, before this experience, you really didn't think that kind of stuff happened in jail before you went in?
No. I'll be honest with you. It's like, it's when you're privileged and you have blinders on, because when I go into the jail now,
you're dropping somebody off.
They're nice to me. Hey Ashley, how's it going? Oh, right. It's good. How are you? How's your kids? How's your family? They're like, oh, you know, this inmate over here, they're screaming and yelling, and I see an inmate beating on the wall. This is me before I went to jail, and I'm like, gosh, what's wrong with them? Why can't they just sit down and relax? I know now. I know now, and I'm not going to try to paint a picture of myself before I went into this that I'm so woke, I know what's going on. I didn't. Right. I had white privilege in the purest form that I was so blind to it, and I was so enchanted with what I believed all of law enforcement was. I thought everybody was like me. I thought everybody was empathetic and treated people with respect and was kind. And then I go in there and I'm like, wow, okay, we're just dehumanizing people and they're not even convicted of crimes yet. And you know, because I'm in there and I'm innocent. Imagine, like, I'm trying to imagine what about these other people in here that caught charges because their boyfriend left a meth pipe in the car? And you know, and I've got to think about all that.
And what about the people that are in there and they're innocent? Because there are so many. I know in jail, everybody say they're innocent, and a lot of people be lying. But there are so many people that are in there that really didn't do it. Like, they had to take a plea deal. They had to, you know what I mean? Because it was either take this plea deal or, you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
I saw that a lot too, and that was another thing that kind of caught me off guard, because you're not going to understand this stuff. And I love being a police officer, and I love my law enforcement family.
Good.
And it's my passion, and it's a career I'm going to continue with. But seeing what I saw, I can't and I will not defend that kind of behavior.
How was the food in the commissary?
I loved the food.
You said what?
I loved the food.
That's crazy. Dennis said the same thing.
I'm like a human trash can. I will eat anything. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. I'll eat anything. But that's coming from me being in the Army. Like, okay. I will not eat the food to taste the food. I'll eat the food to survive.
Right.
Once I got my commissary, I could make some magic with some ramen noodles. When I was a trustee, this is bad, I was stealing butter.
Okay.
How I got fat. This is what happened. So I took when people would bring their trays back, we would have pancakes every Saturday, and I would collect the butter off the pancake trays only after they trashed them, because
right if they didn't want it.
Yeah, I'm an after the fact thief, but 120 women, not everybody's gonna want butter. Right. I like butter, so I'm just like,
okay. Okay.
So I got all this butter, and then I would order a bunch of macaroni and cheese on commissary, and that was
like Kraft. What kind of mac and cheese was it?
It was like Kraft, and it was in a packet, so it wasn't like in the cups. It was just in like a flat packet.
Okay.
And, oh man, and it was good. The way I would make it, it was good. My roommate was pregnant, so she was getting milk. So I had my butter, my milk, my cheese.
And your macaroni and cheese. Oh, so you was eating good in the neighborhood.
Oh yeah, I mean, I could tell you like all the fun things that we would do. We would take they had like refried beans with Velveeta cheese in them that you'd add hot water to, and so we'd take that, and then I would take some rice and mix it in there, the rice and the bean dip, and then you would take what was it? You would dip your nacho cheese Doritos in there. I ate nonstop. Like, I mean, I gained 20 pounds in there because I'm a stress eater. When I'm stressed and worried, I'm just
give me a Snickers.
Oh, always. Like when I got out and I got to see myself in the mirror for the first time, after I grabbed that cookie.
You was like, oh my God, I don't even want the cookie.
I'm getting really fat. I don't want to look. Yeah.
You look fine. Thanks. Okay. Let's see. Do you keep up with anyone from inside that you met? And you don't got to get their names, but just do you keep up with anybody that you were locked down with?
Yes.
Cool. Yes. That's always good.
Yes, several of them actually.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. So are they still in? Or some of them out? Or
a couple of them have been rearrested again a couple of times. But yeah, I don't judge anybody for that.
Right.
Also send me a message on Facebook, and then it's fine. But I keep up. I'm very active in the Etowah County community. I talk to them a whole lot, so it was pretty easy for them to find me, and I didn't really try to hide too much because I wanted to let everybody know, like, you know, our relationship we had was real. I lied to you about why I was in there.
Right.
But did I? You guys had me figured out pretty quickly, so it's.
And I'll be wondering, like, how long are they going to be able to continue to do this show? Because they figure it out so fast.
Hang on, you froze. What did you say?
I said, I always wonder how long are they going to be able to continue to do the show? Because they're figuring out pretty fast. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So I don't know. I don't know how long they're going to continue to do it. I think it's an amazing show. Mm-hmm. And I would love to see it go in the direction of only having law enforcement go inside. Mm-hmm. How well did the show represent who you are as an individual?
It was spot on.
Yeah.
I don't have any complaints about it. I mean, you saw me make stupid choices. You saw me, you know,
human. We're human.
It's what it was, and I don't have any excuses for it. There's some things I wish that I didn't say, and I wish looking back on it, I wish I'd done it differently. But at the end of the day, it was a perfect representation of me. I say stupid stuff sometimes, but at the end of the day, like, I care a lot.
I'm genuine. You're genuine. Okay. How did you feel physically? Like, How was your skin? How was your stomach? Like, you know, it's a whole different life in there. And I often hear about people saying, you know, how the water is and, you know, there's not enough moisture and all of that good stuff. So how were you physically after you left the facility?
I actually ended up in the hospital a week after I got out.
What? What happened?
So as soon as I was released, so I was released at a date in June, some date in June.
Okay.
I had to, as soon as I got out, I had to immediately report to Fort Hood for military training because I was still in the military. I've been in the military for 12 years, so I still had my annual training.
Okay.
So, imagine this. I was in jail for 8 days shy of getting released. I'd take about a week between getting released and doing debriefings and then getting home. As soon as I walk through my door, I'm grabbing my duffel bag and I'm in my personal vehicle and I'm headed to Fort Hood, Texas in June. So I'm in full military gear, 20 pounds heavier, depressed. Oh. And within a couple hours of me arriving in Fort Hood, they're like, okay, we need you to go run the 50 cal range. So somebody who has been very, who hasn't moved, has gained a lot of weight, is dehydrated and depressed. I'm out on.
You drinking hella Mountain Dews in there, Dr. Peppers and Mountain Dews. I said, because you're drinking hella Mountain Dews in there and Dr. Peppers.
Can you see me?
Yep.
Okay, you froze.
You never froze. Okay, I was saying because you were drinking hella Mountain Dews in there and Dr. Peppers and, you know, not a lot of water, you know, and I thought
the water was bad. You didn't want to drink the water because it was like a rusty water. Like it had that weird, like rusty pipe taste.
And they didn't have no bottled water in there? I'm sure it was expensive.
They did, but it was on commissary. But I went out to the gun range and I was like, you know what? I like to shoot. I'm going to shoot some big guns that go big booms and let off some steam. So I'm working the gun range, and then I'm not sweating and I'm feeling really, really good. So then I start the next. I'm tired, and they're like, okay, well, you know what? Just go back to the barracks. Something's not right. I go back to the barracks and I sleep for about 4 or 5 hours, and then I wake up vomiting in my sleep, like uncontrollable vomiting. I had gotten so like deep into heat exhaustion, like it was pretty bad. So they take me to the emergency room and they've got me hooked up to different IVs and they're trying to pump me full of fluids and medications, and I'm just like, I'm just laying there like, oh my gosh, okay. Like my body just collapsed on me. So after that, I talked to my first sergeant and I was like, look, I've never missed a drill in 12 years. I've gone to deployments. I've gone to Korea. I've gone to Kuwait. I've done everything that you wanted me to do. I've done enough for America this year. I've got to take a break. I've done enough. I'm tapping out of the Army at this point. I physically am not in the shape. That's why they stress PT so much. I'm like, you got to be in shape to be in the Army, and you've got to hydrate, and you can't have bad habits, because just the 2 months that I was locked up, developing all those bad habits, I got incredibly, incredibly sick. And I've been out for a year now, and I'm still trying to drop the weight that I gained in there. You know,
it's more difficult the older you get, I promise.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So physically I felt.
That's crazy. I did not expect that. I expected you to say like, oh, I had some muscle pain or my back was hurting or something. I did not expect the hospital. What made you most afraid on the inside? And I'm not talking about necessarily people or physical. I'm just saying in general, what made you most afraid while you were there?
First of all, if anybody says they're not afraid of the other inmates when you've never been arrested before, after growing up in the 90s and 2000s and watching TV shows, you're a liar. You go in there, you're afraid of the other inmates because you think you're going to get, you go in hyped up thinking, all right, they're going to test me. They're going to come on to me sexually. I'm going to,
Did anybody come on to you sexually?
Yes.
What? Spill the tea.
She is a dear friend, and
What made you say, yeah, I'm going to start watching her on YouTube?
Well, like I said before, I'm an obsessive Googler. So when the show came out, I started Googling heavily anything that involved 60 Days in Reviews, trying to find, and we were all doing that. So I wasn't the only one that found you. I believe Dennis also found you on his own too.
Okay.
And we would share them in our group chat, like this person's reviewing the show, this person has a podcast, this person has a Facebook group, this is a Reddit group. Like we were trying to, we wanted to know what people thought, because we were, we put our blood, sweat, and tears into this.
Right.
I found you, and I could never figure out how you felt about me. So I would comment on your YouTube page, hi, I don't know if you hate me or not, but great.
I didn't know it was you, by the way. I didn't know it was you until Instagram, when you said, I don't know if you hate me or love me. So I had no clue.
Well, because you were calling me Muffin, and I didn't know how to take it, because I was like.
Okay. So here's where Muffin came from.
Okay.
when you walked in, I pay attention to everything, okay? Especially the sheriff and his guy, right? So when everybody walked in, they had Chief Pete.
Yeah.
They had a certain reaction when everyone walked in, right? When you walked in, though, they had a reaction that just said that they just wanted to take you and love you and hug you and protect you, like almost like. So I was like, oh, and I was like she's a little Muffin or something. And that's where Muffin started from. Was from how I felt like they perceived you.
You know why they did that? It's all part of that whole law enforcement umbrella. Like I was family immediately.
Right.
And I see them as family too. But they're still family to me, you know? We're all part of the same umbrella.
Oh, I wish I could interview the sheriff. I liked him. He's
so honest. Like he's just we'll talk about.
He got a little swag about him. I don't know. I liked him though. I did.
We'll discuss the feelings on participants and staff.
Yeah.
But they knew I was a cop, but Jen and Shanice did not know, and I made it clear because of what happened with David before. I don't want it confirmed with anybody that I'm a police officer, because it was very scary thinking that speculation is one thing, confirmation is another. And at that point, I was fearful of the inmates, because what I had seen on previous seasons was that inmates, they hate you. It's all drama. And it's like, no, the inmates are your family, and the guards were the ones that. It was very much like the Stanford prison experiment, 110%. Like it's I could psychology this shit all day.
I mean, damn. Okay. I felt like, and yes, that makes total sense what you're saying. And that's probably what it was. But that's the time that I started calling you Muffin, like at that particular time.
You froze again on me.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on. Why it keeps freezing.
Are you there now?
Yes.
Okay. No, I was saying like that at that time, that's when I started calling you Muffin, and it just kind of stuck with me. And then like you look like that could be your nickname. You just look like you do. You look like you could have been called Muffin since you were like 7 or some shit. Like
I'll privately tell you. Do you have your phone with you?
I do.
I'm texting you what my nickname in the Army was.
Okay. Was there anything that you felt like as I was going along I got wrong?
I'm gonna let you sleep it real quick.
Get the fuck.
That was my nickname in the Army. I actually have that tattooed on my foot. There was a whole lot of fights that happened that you saw in the previews and you would see throughout the season. I would just open my window and just.
Wow.
Oh, she's getting pepper sprayed. Like
It was just commentary.
Yeah, we would just watch because we're bored. We're bored.
Okay.
And it is what it is. And anybody who has really gone to jail will tell you the same thing. You watch the fights. And when it's time to break it up, you break it up. And I'll use the fight in Tony's cell for an example. He had an issue with the guy. He's like, all right, get up, we're going to fight. They fought. He lost. And when it got to the point where one person was getting the upper hand on the other person, Tony cut it off.
Right.
So, I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, oh my gosh, they flipped. I've got some tweets.
Yes, let's hear
them. These are the meanest ones that I've seen recently.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. This one was somebody took a screenshot of me at the reunion, and it says hashtag 60 days in when she found out Arby's was considered an essential business.
That's fucked up.
Yo, fuck that pudgy girl. It's Ashley, y'all. They tagged me from hashtag 60 days in. Miss pretentious and full of perceived grandeur. Hey, Ashley, you suck. You shouldn't be a cop. Hashtag fitness test for cops. Hashtag someone get this girl some tissues. I'm like, okay. A fake attention seeker who cries without tears. A lot of these that I've found out are Miss Williams.
Yo, really?
You remember me calling her out on that?
Yeah. Oh.
She had 3 different accounts that we were able to find out, because when she would create her accounts, she would create her Facebook account with the name Priscilla Williams, and then she would come up with a fake name to be displayed. So when you go to look at somebody's Facebook page,
you can see who they are.
Click the link. Facebook will generate an automatic link based on your name you signed up with.
Yo, I tried to go live with this chick, right? Mm-hmm. Because she would like go on a rant in a Facebook group and say some crazy stuff, and then everybody would just lay into like drag TF out of her, and then she would act like a victim. Like she don't know why people feel the way they do. So I slid in her inbox, right? Like, yo, so I want to go live with you so that you can tell your point of view of how things went. I'm not in no way here to like take up for anyone or anything, including you. Mm-hmm. I think the behavior was horrible. However, I do feel like everyone is entitled to explain themselves in a place of neutrality, and I'm not here to drag. So what's up, right? Mm-hmm. So we're kind of going back and forth in the Facebook inbox, the messenger and shit. And I told her like straight up, you're like one of the most hated people in reality TV right now, and I want to go live with you. So I mean, what? And she's like, that's the same thing. You sound like the people who, wait, what did she say? I ain't gonna find it. She said, you sound like the people who got me to sign that contract, and now my life is a living hell. And I was like, damn. Like, what can you say to that? Like, because listen, because of her actions being shown on TV, right? They're her actions. However, they were shown on TV this time. So now the world sees your demeanor, your attitude. You may not be no different from the next corrections officer, but yours was shown on TV. So, yeah, her life is a living hell.
All she had to do was, look, people, at the end of the day, everybody's going to appreciate honesty. Nobody wants to be told that they're being lied to, or that they're seeing something that they're not seeing, because you saw it with your own eyes.
Saw it with your own eyes.
You did. And own it. Yeah, I was in a horrible place. I took it out on inmates. I shouldn't have done that, and I'm sorry. And I will do what I can to make it right. That would have gone, I would have done anything in the world for that woman. If she was in such a bad place mentally, because you already know how I feel about people who are in mental duress. Mm-hmm. If you're in such a bad place mentally, I've got resources. I can help you. I can get you in touch with counseling. I got you.
Right.
But when you want to continue to lie about it and defend your actions and blame others for decisions you made yourself, I got nothing. I got nothing for you. I can't help you. Like, Vanessa's calling me.
Hey, answer it.
Okay.
Answer it.
Hello?
Put her on speaker.
Hey.
Ask her if it's okay.
I completely forgot that we were doing that. I'm awful. I don't know what I'm gonna say.
We about to end it. We can end it now if you gotta.
No. She says no. Okay, hang on.
Okay, put me on speakerphone.
Okay.
What's her name again?
Miana.
Mia, how you doing?
Hey, girl.
She's on Facebook as Deshawn
Cantouty.
Oh, okay. Hey.
But Vanessa, how did you feel when they was talking about how you cleaned up well or some shit like that they put in the group? I was so offended, but how did you feel about that shit?
I don't worry about that, because I mean, nobody looks great in jail. Nobody. So, I mean, people say, oh, you clean up well. I'm like, they just don't know me, because I look like this all the time.
Yeah, as far as I can can tell all your pictures pretty much show a certain, that you look a certain way. Like,
Yeah, I don't know. This one girl is just like, she's just anti-me. Like, I don't know what it is with her. Because somebody was just talking about, I think Vanessa and Tony look good together. And her response was,
she's not a boss. I saw that shit.
She's not a boss. She's not boss enough for Tony or something. So these other two chicks start going back and forth with us. I'm not worried about that. I'm like, that girl don't even know me. So whether it was with him or anybody, you don't know me. So how do you know what I'm doing?
Yeah. Bitch, I almost put my cape on. Like, don't get in here and do her. Don't you get in here and say shit about Vanessa.
Yeah, but the thing is, when people are talking about me, I notice that same chick like laugh at every comment where somebody's like talking about me. So I mean,
who hurt her? Who hurt her? Whoever hurt her must have looked like you.
I don't know. Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, those comments and stuff, they don't bother me. It's just funny that people say stuff like that, like they know you. They don't know you.
I just wanted to let you know how sorry I am that the network would not let me interview with you. I really wanted to interview with you, and they said no. You said what?
Why did they say no to Vanessa?
They said no to everybody I asked for, except for Dennis initially, and then after you sent an email, then they sent an email back saying, "Okay, and we'll let you interview with Ashley."
They have to. Each one of us has to request it individually ourselves.
So address the participants and tell us what you think we should know about all of the participants. I want to know.
So the biggest thing I want people to know is that we are all friends. We're the moment, like when we all met at the reunion, we exchange information. We all communicate regularly because we're part of a small group of people that experience something that nobody else can really relate to.
Right.
And we're very protective of each other.
Mm-hmm.
So me and Shanice talked on the phone a lot leading up to, we knew what was coming, obviously, because we experienced it.
Right.
So I had not seen or talked to her and Jen from when I was released from jail. I didn't see them until we got on the stage at the reunion.
Oh, that explains a lot.
We had zero communication.
Okay.
So, and yeah, I totally forgot that I had talked shit about Shanice because I was so tired.
Right.
It was draining. I was tired. I was in my own bubble, and I was just, I was not. I look back on it now, and I'm like, man, she really needed a friend.
Right.
She relied on me, and I let her down. And that's what I told her in the last reunion episode. I told her, I was like, look, man, you needed somebody, and I let you down, and I'm sorry. Right. I didn't take your illness seriously because I was so wrapped up in my own shit that I wasn't focusing on you, who is my partner, who is my friend.
Right.
And we have discussed that heavily. Like, I talked her on the phone and I'm like, look, this is what I remember saying now that I think about it. So just expect that when that episode rolls out. And she's like, okay, well, this is what this was. If you notice, Shanice never talked shit about me.
Right.
On camera. She never did because she trusted me and I let her down. So Shanice's experience was extremely unique. It's something that was never shown on any of the 60 Days In before. This was
I thought it was a great perspective.
A whole entire new perspective. And her information actually led to a complete overhaul in the kitchen at Etowah County. They have a bulletin board that lists every type of food allergy and what's appropriate for that inmate to eat. So there's no more guessing.
Okay.
But at the time of our incarceration, they were in a complete jail remodel. So the inmates were cooking out of like trailers.
Okay.
So now that they have a full service kitchen, they can actually prepare the food on separate tables. They can clean up after themselves the right way to where like somebody with an allergy, their foods, I'm use peanuts, for example.
Right.
If we were to get peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, a person with a severe peanut allergy, even a little bit of peanut butter is going to, you're done.
My daughter has a peanut allergy.
Yes. So we have to be, so now that the food can be prepared appropriately, big changes have been made. And they really, Sheriff Horton and Chief Peak really listened to the feedback that she had.
Okay.
And we actually had a shakedown that wasn't shown on TV shortly after Shanice was released.
Okay.
So we had a shakedown that came through our cells and people were shifted and moved around. So I don't know exactly what was said during her debriefing.
Okay.
But I know that she focused on the food and I know she talked about things regarding contraband, because she saw things from a different perspective than I did. That's why you put multiple people in, so you can get all the different perspectives. So
I think I said on one of my reviews that I like that they had somebody like Shanice in there to show how they, if they care or not about people who have very severe food allergies. Because and I'm like, they're like, well, can you get a note from your doctor? And she's like, well, no, I'm out of state. And it's like, you should be able to put in, I mean, you know, what if I don't have no paperwork? I'm telling you that I have this and it's life threatening. So who's going to play with it? Like, just give me the benefit of the doubt, at least, you know, have something in place where you can give me the benefit of the doubt. So I thought it was great, her role that she played on the show, because yeah, it had never been explored before. So we were like, okay, this is something new. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, they kept getting her food wrong. We was just like, so y'all just gonna keep getting our food wrong? You know, y'all just don't care. Okay, got it.
And the guard should have been like, all right, my responsibilities are to keep you safe until your trial.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not within the job description of a corrections officer or a law enforcement officer to dish out punishments. That's what we have a court system for. The courts determine the punishment.
Right.
The punishment is time.
Right.
It's a loss of your time. It's not additional mental abuse. It's not starvation. This is not Guantanamo. This is Edward County, Alabama.
Right.
It's not the responsibility of the guards to put forth
extra. Right. Okay, cool. I mean, man, I just appreciate you taking the time with me. Mm-hmm. I hope this won't be our last time chatting. I hope we can talk about other stuff in the future. And yeah, I just appreciate you for chatting with me, you know. Do you have any last words before we get off?
Thank you for being a fan, and you never know what's going to be in this morning's cup.
Hey, you never know. I love y'all. I swear I do.